Yeah, okay, that's a little better. All right, so join me for a walk. I'm going to the back part of my property. Got this section where I cleaned the road up. It was rutted really bad, washed out a bit, so I got it cleaned up and smoothed up when I had the skid steer. Last weekend before last. Anyways, I'm headed back to the forest in the back of my property so I can just check on things. And go check the couple of puddles in the stream to see if there's water in them still. Usually is, but also going to see if I can find my sheep because they wandered back this way when I let them out of their front paddock today. And check the grass situation. Maybe we'll see some deer, or maybe we'll have all the animals follow us and not see any deer. But either way, we're just going to wander around back here for a while. So if you guys ever watched that 20-something minute video I put up of mowing a trail, this is the path I mowed right here. It's actually the road. You can see an old road used to have asphalt. It's been covered over with gravel in most of it. Basically it's the driveway from the front of my property to the back of my property. No idea how old this asphalt road is, but it's old and grass grows up over it and everything. But I mowed it so that I could have a clear path to walk back here. And alright, I'm going to try to keep quiet and see if I see any deer. It's mid-morning at this point, so they might all be bedded down already. I was out driving around a bit this morning, running errands and stuff. There were definitely deer out and about. I saw one not a quarter mile from the house, and 3 others just down the road another half a mile. But I haven't seen a deer on my property all year yet. I know there's trails that they use quite often, so try and keep it quiet and walk back here and see what I can find. I'm taking y'all along. Let's see what we can see. That steer's up front calling for me because I walked off and he don't think he knows where I went. I'm gonna cut back through here and go to the fence on the other side of the property and just see what I can see there. There's a little clearing over here where we've got a big oak tree that drops a lot of acorns that the deer like to come in and eat in the fall. It's usually a good spot to see some deer. Yeah, usually if I see deer on my property, it's usually right in this area. I've seen them in the trees right here to the right, seen them in this clearing. Oh, what is that? That's a squirrel. Saw some movement over there, but that was a squirrel. Okay, there's some deer tracks on this trail I'm walking down. So we've been through here. There's still some grass in the area that the horses haven't eaten yet. There's still a few trees in this area that I've kind of want to build a pond right here where the camera's pointed. Not a big pond, but this is a point where 3 different streams, runoff streams, converge and then they flow down in one big stream. I don't want to include all 3 of those runoff streams, but I want to include this main one right here into a pond and make it so that this is an area that holds water year-round instead of just for a few weeks after a rainstorm. And as you can see, I did a video a week ago that had the horses getting a drink, and they were standing right here getting a drink, and that has since dried up. That is probably the only bit of water left in this stream bed. But luckily for us, it's supposed to rain tonight. They're supposed to get about a half an inch of rain tonight, and then about 2 inches of rain throughout the day tomorrow. So hopefully we get enough rain to get this stream flowing again and get the pond at the front of the property filled back up. Or at least get some water in it. Even if it comes up about 8 inches, that'd be great. Oh, I'm breaking acorns on every step right through here. I'm going to go check my fence line over here and walk back to where there's a trail where the deer cut across my property. There's a spot back here where I've never actually seen the deer, but there is such a well-worn trail. Tracks all the time. I just never see them when they're just never here when I am. Okay, I'm coming up on my south fence now. It's impossible to be quiet with all these leaves on the ground. And of course I'm talking to the camera too. Alright, so here's the south fence. I hear something over there on the neighbor's property. Sorry, too low, too high. There's the fence line heading back towards the front of the property. That's all my neighbor's property on the other side of the fence. And down this way, heading towards the back corner. Towards this back corner of the property is where there's a really good game trail, where the deer, hop the fence and walk across my property into the field to the north. Yeah, I still haven't cleaned this branch off of this branch fell onto the fence literally a month or so after I got the fence put up. And it's just been leaning on it. It's not putting any weight on it. It's just leaning on it. So I just need to cut it off of the fence at some point. But every time I think about it, I'm back here, I don't have the tools with me to do it. So eventually I'll bring a saw back and cut that off of there. So last year, during hunting season, I got one doe on my property. I didn't ever hunt it anywhere else other than on my property. And the one doe I got was right up here in these trees. I walked that path I had just walked, and when I got up to where those 3 cedars are over there, I saw the doe standing here in the trees. I kind of knew she was in the area because I had seen her at the stream when I was walking down that way, and she ran down this direction. So I followed the path, got along the fence, saw her, and that was the only deer I got the whole season last year. It was just one doe. And we ended up, she was really a lean doe, had almost no fat on her. So we ended up turning most of the meat into jerky. Yeah, really good jerky. But yeah, we made about 40 pounds of jerky last year. This year, rifle season starts in 3 days. So I probably need to close the gate to this back section of the property and dump some corn in a few spots to start attracting some deer. Because yes, in this state it is legal to bait deer with corn. Anyways, coming up to the back corner of my property. Yeah, I don't know why I did not cut that tree down when I was clearing the area for the fence. Obviously a branch is broken off of it. I probably should have cut it down. I'm probably going to have to cut it down one of these days, or it's going to fall and hopefully it doesn't break my fence. But anyways, I was trying to get a good look at this game trail through here. Figure out where it starts. There's a lot of leaves burying it right now, but basically there's some spot right along the back of the fence, the back fence here, where the deer hop over and then they cut across diagonally this way. And I was back here a couple weeks ago when I saw that trail. I'm thinking I should, get to a little clearing spot along the trail and put a couple of piles of corn, and then have a spot I can sit and watch. But I don't have a blind. Oh, another big old squirrel ran inside that tree over there. There's a trunk of that tree had a section that was split, and the squirrel went inside there. I think I'm actually on that trail right through here. I think it goes right through here. And the leaves are covering it because, well, it's fall and they all fell off the trees. Yep, and then it comes down here. You can see where they walk down here and across. So I'm going to follow it. This is down in the deepest part of the ravine or stream bed. Oh, there it is. This is the main part of the trail here, actually. There has been some tracks through there, but so my horses have been back here because there's horse hoof prints there. Yeah, anyways. The horses for sure have been using this trail. Looking up the stream, I don't see any water in it. That one puddle I pointed out earlier in the video. Back here, there's the fence I had to fix, which I'll go up this way and get a better view of that. This is, oh, hey, there's a spot where it looks like a deer tried to step there and slid down. Right there, you can see the little spot. Deer made a mark there as they were climbing up this. Another deer track right there, headed the other direction. All right, so this area right here, the fence was down for quite a while until a little less than a month ago when I came back here and put in these cattle panels. I had to stand that H-brace back up, use this cattle panel to hold the H-brace up, and then connected those cattle panels there along the fence. I know it's not straight. It's just the path I was able to take with what was existing and what I needed to do to close up that section of fence and keep my horses from escaping, because they were literally walking right across into my neighbors right there, or right here, walking over the top of the fence that was down. Now over this way, anyways, that trail comes up here And it looked like they were probably just walking right there onto the neighbors from it, but that fence is back up, so I don't know exactly which way the deer would be traveling, but this is that big tree that fell. This fell back in early summer. A little bit of a broken piece there still standing. A couple of trunks this way, a couple that way, a couple of that way. The two that fell that way last year are already cut up. Yeah, this was just a tree that split into multiple trunks, and has been, you know, I cut up the one, but there's still basically, it's kind of like two main trunks here, and branches off into a third. Another two here. One's still kind of standing. Two of them I already cut up that went the other way. So 6 different trunks on that tree, and all of them fell. All right, I got one cattle panel left laying here that I need to come bring the truck back here and get it at some point. Alright. Remains of a dead horse. Let's take a look at the neighbor's pond. They've got one of the nicest ponds in the area right back here. There's a bunch of ducks on the pond. An eagle just took off flying from the other side of it. Yeah. Their pond is pretty low, but even with it being really low, there's still a lot of water in it. Oh, there's turkeys over there. The other side of the pond. See if I can zoom in. Okay, there's a crow that just flew across, and to the opposite side of where the crow flew, there's a couple turkeys. Sorry, can't hold that steady enough to really see them. Okay, maybe that was not a turkey. That was just another crow. Sorry. Was walking on the ground like a turkey. No, it's not a crow either, though. It's probably a turkey vulture. Yeah. Turkeys won't fly across the pond like that. Well, anyways, we'll go back to one-time zoom. Yeah, I guess the neighbors had a tree fall here also. We had some bad storms this spring that high winds came through this part of this area and knocked some trees and stuff down. Yeah, there's a rotten chunk of a tree there that fell on the fence, but whatever. The fence is still standing. Alright, I'll keep walking around. I didn't see my sheep back here at all, so it's possible that they went to the front by the orchard instead of back here into the forest. There's still some green grass in the orchard area, so that would make sense. Alright, here's another view of that pond, maybe a little bit better view. There's ducks and geese on the pond. Oh. Big bird just flew up behind me. Again, that is not my pond, that is my neighbor's pond. And this isn't going to be very, yeah, it's blurry with how far away it is. All right. But yeah, there's, looks like a mix of Canadian geese and ducks out there. Some brown ducks. I think the gray with the black heads are the geese. There's some brown ducks on there. And I don't know, maybe some other variety of ducks, I'm not sure. But anyways, there's ducks and geese. I'm really trying to find sign of some deer, figure out where the deer are moving. Like I said earlier this morning, I saw 4 deer within a mile of my property, within about 3/4 of a mile actually. But a couple of tracks on my property that look like they're a few days old. That's all I've seen so far today, as far as on my property. But maybe we'll see some deer somewhere. Now, I have walked back here sometimes and seen where deer have jumped off of my property, and then I see them running across the field to the north. You know, this field over here. Now, usually, not always, but I've seen them like after they've already jumped the fence and left my property. So this is kind of where that paved road that I was on earlier comes all the way back here. Actually comes back into this corner and just kind of ends. But again, it's all covered up. And I need to trim that tree so I can drive back here without brushing the truck up against it all the time. Probably cut this little cedar down right here. Alright. Right there is the persimmons. Oh wow, look, it is loaded with persimmons. Look at that. That thing is loaded with persimmons right now. It's not a huge persimmons tree, but it's a decent size one. Yeah, there's several persimmons. That's why all these birds are right here. Look at this. Persimmons on the ground. This is the persimmons tree right here. Lots of birds right around it. Yeah, kitty corner across the road at the front of my property. The property across and to the north just has 5 or 6 persimmons trees that are way bigger than the one I've got right here. Like they tower above the rest of the forest around them. Right. Now, have not seen any deer. Pretty much walked the perimeter of the very back part of the property and cut across the stream over there where the puddle is. But yeah. So last year, the day I got the 1 deer, there was another deer in the forest in this area that I didn't see until after I got back to my truck. I had parked my truck right here, walked down that way, saw the deer that had gone down further towards the back of my property, followed it back there, got the deer, you know, got it field dressed and back to the truck. And when I got it back to the truck, a deer came out of this little bit of forest here and took off across the field to the north. And I didn't see it till it was jumping the fence, heading to the, you know, I saw it as it was coming out of there and jumping the fence and heading north. So yeah, when I'd seen the 1 deer, there was another deer not far off, but again, I never saw it till it was too late. But I had just gotten one that day, so it's all right. So there's an oil company that owned this property before I did for about 20 years. And right here is where they kind of stored all their disused pump jacks. There's lots of weights and stuff, steel weights from the ends of the pump jacks, bits and pieces. Yeah, I mean, nothing's, I don't think any of them are all intact anymore, but all right. Yep. One active pump jack on my property just started up. Anyways, I'm gonna head back to the front of my property. If y'all have watched this video that long, what's wrong with y'all? Just kidding. Thank you. It's probably not very exciting. It's just me walking around in the forest, checking on things, looking for signs for deer. But anyways, I hope your day is going better than mine, and I'm having a great day. So, if you like this, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, share it, and tell me what you're doing today. Let's leave a comment and tell me what you're doing. Thank you. Have a good one.